The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain. Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com. We've talked a lot about how adept MJM boats are at handling sea conditions, but our tests have always been in relatively calm water. But the question begs, how will she handle in conditions encountered on less than ideal days? Let's take a look. With a 30-knot wind blowing and an unrestricted fetch against a fair tide, significant rollers were easy to find offshore on this test day. It started by running the 40Z through head seas at a slow cruise setting of 1750 RPM and 13.6 knots. This speed gives her a 9.1 gallon per hour fuel burn for a range of 470 nautical miles. At that setting, the ride was comfortable, no pounding, simply riding up one wave and down the next. It produced a very wet ride, but that was to be expected in these conditions at this speed and angle of attack. When the 40Z was brought around to a beam sea, things smoothed out considerably and it was time to add power. At her best cruise setting of 2250 RPM and 20.6 knots, the range only decreased by 6 nautical miles. With her hard chines, there was very little rolling and the ride dried out considerably. This would be an easy course to run for days on end. As she was brought around into a following sea, it became clear that this is really where the 40Z is in her element. She continued to throw water well out to the sides, which made visibility much less of a factor. Occasionally, the speed was pulled back a bit to hang on top of a wave and then blast into the back of the forward wave in an attempt to stuff the bow. But the 40Z wasn't having any of it. Her narrow bows simply sliced through and she kept right on going. There was no need to weave around any larger waves as the 40Z seemed right at home. Adding power through these following seas only made the ride smoother as she tended to stay on top of the waves much better. At her best cruise speed setting of 40.2 knots, she'll burn 44 gallons per hour, producing a range of 288 nautical miles. While there appears to be no problem walking around the boat in these conditions, the grab handles that are seemingly everywhere come in handy. By the end of the day, it became self-evident that this was a boat made for traveling long distances in rugged offshore conditions. Her build is as strong as they come in this size range and has been proven over the years. Her economy is outstanding because of her propulsion system, hull shape, and light weight. There's no doubt in my mind that MJM's claims of making an outstanding seaboat certainly rings true, and it's important to remember that this is also a boat that can be docked single-handed. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.